Holy Fathers martyred at the Monastery of Saint Savvas the Sanctified, March 20th. During Great Lent in 796 AD, monks at the Great Lavra of Saint Savvas chose steadfast faith over surrender, facing martyrdom at the hands of Saracen invaders, a heads-up in the spirit of transparency. Please be advised that this content may include martyrdom, torture, physical violence, persecution, execution, death. The Great Lavra of Saint Savvas the Sanctified stands in the Kidron Valley, a monastic community established in the 5th century. For centuries, this place has been a center of Orthodox spirituality, where monks pursued ascetic life and prayer in the Palestinian wilderness. By the late 8th century, the region was under the rule of the Abbasid Caliphate. Raids by Saracen tribes on remote communities were a known danger. In the year 796 AD, during the season of Great Lent, the monastery faced such a trial. A band of Saracens approached the Lavra, intent on plunder. The monks, having received warning of the impending attack, were given a choice to leave the monastery for safety. Many chose to remain within the walls, committing themselves to their monastic vows and the protection of the holy place. On March 13th, the Saracens began their siege of the monastery. They demanded gold and other valuables as ransom. The monks, under the leadership of their abbot, St. John, refused to capitulate to these demands. They held fast, enduring the siege for a full week. The invaders attempted to force entry, seeking to break down the monastery gates. The monks, in their unwavering confession of faith, did not yield. They understood their treasure to be their faith in Christ and the sacred vessels of the Church, which they would not surrender. The siege continued until March 20th, the eve of Palm Sunday. On this day, the Saracens breached the monastery's defenses. They entered the monastery enclosure and carried out their violence upon the monks who had remained. Within the church itself, some fathers were struck down with arrows and swords, offering their lives as a witness to Christ in the very place of worship. Others were dragged outside the church. They endured various forms of torture before they were beheaded. Their blood spilled upon the ground of the Lavra. A significant group of monks sought refuge in a cave located on the monastery grounds. This cave had historically served as a church, a place of prayer and sanctuary. The Saracens discovered their hiding place. Unable to reach them easily within the confines of the cave, the invaders gathered wood and lit a great fire at the entrance. The smoke and flames filled the cave. The monks, in their final act of steadfastness, chose death by suffocation rather than surrender or renunciation of their faith in Christ. St. John the Hegemon, the abbot who had guided his flock through the siege, was among those who perished in the cave, offering his life as a shepherd. Approximately 20 monks were killed during this massacre. After the Saracens departed, the bodies of the martyred fathers were left unburied. Yet, by God's providence, their remains were later found to be incorrupt, a sign of their sanctity and their witness. The account of their martyrdom was recorded by Saint Stephen the Sabbite, a hymnographer who had survived a different raid. His testimony ensured that the memory of these passion bearers would be preserved for future generations of Orthodox Christians. The steadfast faith of these fathers, who laid down their lives for Christ, serves as an example of Christian martyrdom. Their confession of faith in the face of suffering continues to inspire monastics and all Orthodox faithful. The Church honors them as passion bearers, commemorating their sacrifice with reverence, especially within the monastic tradition, on March 20th. Their lives bear witness to faith and endurance in Christ.